Well, a lot of things. As a matter of fact, uh, lots of what we're showing on our booth in GITEX this year is to do about reimagining the realities. Number one is the consumer and the customer of the future. And I think it's just not in the business area, but also in overall society, things are changing. So number one, if you look at from a business perspective, we're actually showing an artificial intelligence virtual assistant that can actually help anybody, specifically in business as well as probably in your private lives too, where you have a robot that can actually be your personal butler, and he or she, the robot, actually it can guide you. You can actually make it personal by giving it a name, and it can guide you to whatever you want to do and help you to conduct the transaction. So for example, in the past, let's say you want to do a banking transaction, you actually had to go, to a bank and, stand up, take a token and then wait for your turn. Today it's possible for you to actually use your mobile from the comfort of your bedroom and actually do a transaction like buy a car, buy a holiday, whatever you think, whatever. Imagine the possibilities and then reimagine the realities again.
So you just mentioned about the robotics and all, right?
Yeah.
So how do you see the entire robotics and automation being taken up by the Middle East region?
Oh, you see, the Middle East region has always been a leader in terms of absorbing or accepting technologies and actually implementing them. Uh, if you go to Emirates NBD, branch of the future in the Emirates Towers, you'll see that this is no more actually something that is going to come, but it's already there and it's happening. So yes, there's a lot of hunger for that. There's a lot of hunger for anything that's innovative and new, and I think this is also going to be a success like other technologies of the past.
So what is Avaya's focus for GITEX 2016?
So our focus is, if you look at it from a virtual assistant perspective, everything that we provide, this is an application, but we have the telephony, the contact center, we even have the networking to be able to support that. So if you come to our booth, we actually show the application and then we show a lot of supporting Avaya technologies at the back of it that make those realities real. We also have other applications in terms of the Happy Index, which is one of the priorities of the Dubai government, the UAE government in itself. And then, of course, we have security solutions around these artificial intelligence or robotics. I would say, we have one of the biggest differentiators for us would be the fact that anybody wanting to talk to anybody has got to have a contact point, and our contact center resides at the center of all this.
Okay, that's interesting. So talking about the channel and partner roadmap, so what is Avaya's channel partner roadmap for 2017?
So, a majority of our roadmap is dependent upon the channel
Yeah.
because 90% of our business is through the channel. So what we are doing is obviously, we talk about the regular stuff like training and things like that, but I think in Avaya we're taking it a step forward. We're actually, going to the customer, leading the technology, and we ensure that the partner is with us hand in hand, and they actually lead the implementation, the execution, and most importantly, the support of that technology. So in 2017, there'll be a lot of focus on how we can work closely together, how we can actually understand a customer's requirements right at the beginning, and not really worry about an RFP when it comes out, because that's obviously something that we don't like to go back and respond in the last minute. So our channels, by the way, I've talked to some of them. They're extremely excited about this approach. The whole industry is in transition, and the channel also thinks that the channel landscape in itself is in turmoil and in transition. And I would say it's into a positive transformation in itself. So you would see a lot of channels actually either merging together or one acquiring another one, and all in the interest of business and the interest of the customer. And we're always there to support our channels in these endeavors.
Any recent, a major partner or a customer you'd like to mention about in the Middle East region?
Major,
Any recent, a major customer or a partnership?
of course, our major customer is this morning we announced a deal with an agreement with Donata,
Okay.
which is to consolidate all their contact centers across the globe. And every Donata call tomorrow is going to be via an Avaya contact center. So yes, yeah, thank you.
Okay. And your 2017 roadmap, how do you see the year coming along?
So obviously, we are going to make a major announcement, a global announcement tomorrow from Gitex Dubai,
Okay.
which is in the unified communication space. Like one of my colleagues likes to say, it's like, when the only tool you have is a hammer, then you think every problem is a nail. So
Okay.
tomorrow we're going to be showing customers that not every problem is a nail, and not every tool should be a hammer, and we're actually going to lay out a number of tools for them to be able to address their business requirements, their productivity requirements, their simplicity requirements, and obviously a lot to do with cost at the same time.